I can't tell you. I love that. Pow! Kaboom!
Yeah, I still get chills when I got to put that on my playlist. The America First Warehouse introduction gets me every time.
We can get that for you, Johnny. That's Captain USA, Frankie Hudak. Knock, knock. Hudak. He is a great editor, and he creates music together, and he gave us that.
Is there a full
America
song
First.
to that jingle? Or?
Yeah. It goes great. You ready? I thought you knew it by now. We can sing it together for everybody. I'm Joe the Box. You're here at the America First Warehouse, where we are producing the America First podcast. I'm Joe the Box.
And I'm John the Blanket.
And this is America First. And on our far side over here, we have Captain Kirk wearing his Captain Kirk uniform from the Starship Enterprise, zoomed in today, Kevin Downey Jr., and he's going to give us a couple of headlines that we can start the day with. What do you think, Kev?
Let's do it, man.
Do it, baby!
Warp speed. Here we go.
She can't handle it, Captain. So, folks, this is hilarious, I think. Right now, well, actually, this happened last night. The bigwig at CNN went over to his crew who put their show together and said, "Stop whining about the ballroom. You look like a bunch of idiots. It's the least important thing in the world." The ballroom, of course, that Trump is building. He's paying for it out of his own pocket with some private investors as well who want to contribute, costing the nation nothing. Costing them nothing. Now, right now, what they should be talking about, and this is huge, it's one of the most important stories of the year. Trump is in Asia. He's wheeling and dealing, and he's succeeding as he's doing it. He's getting some rare mineral deals done. He had talks with Japan. You're going to see American cars in Japan for the first time ever, I think. I'm not sure they've ever had an American car in Japan. Now, we're also opening up, Trump, I should say, is opening up the markets in Cambodia and Malaysia. And you might think, well, Cambodia and Malaysia, who cares? Those are tiny countries. They are, but Trump is bringing them onto our side because they're right in the belly of the beast. They're right by China. And Trump is over there right now making friends, shaking hands, and working deals, and he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. Those minerals are important, gentlemen, because China has most of them, and they're keeping them. Because we had a deal with China, and they said, well, we're going to maybe not give you some of these minerals. Well, now, you know what? We don't need China as much anymore. But Trump is meeting with China Thursday, all right? And so far, things are going well. That's why the stock market blew up yesterday, because everyone said, wow, look at what happened with China. They're really getting along. This might work. Now, every financial person I know is telling me the economy is not only back, it's booming, but most of the people haven't realized it or figured it out yet. By February, everyone is going to be singing and daisies all over the place. But I'm already seeing it now.
Yeah.
Have you seen gas has not been this cheap since when? Since Trump was president last time. Biden screwed that up. But right now they're spanking fannies at CNN saying, cover the president. He's doing well. So you guys look like a bunch of ninny hammers, as my grandmother used to say.
Well, that was a great way to kick it off. I'll tell you what, Kevin Downey Jr., you bring your game every time you come walking in here. I want to bring in my favorite host. Hey, listen, I can say that. I'm biased. Lisa Azzarelli, she's down at the Gulf of America. And you got some news or you got something happening? Hey, Lisa, there she is. How you doing?
Here, loving it. You know, I'm on the East Coast, so I'm still in the land of the free, but close to the Gulf of America. This is it's good stuff over here. We have amazing news today. I think that honestly, Kevin just killed it. He just did a great job in presenting what is so important today as far as Trump's visit. I do want to highlight Trump's awesome dance when he got to Malaysia. Did everyone see that? I love it. What's really nice is that dance represents a dance. Yup, that's it. Pow. That dance represents a dance of gratitude. So Trump coming off the plane and receiving that dance from that country is very significant. And the fact that he reciprocated just shows what type of president he is. So we have good stuff, and lots of news coming up today.
You know, I was interested in what's happening in New York. And one of the things that's happening in New York right now is that the Muslim population is going to run our city pretty soon. And the Muslim Islamic ideology is not what America is. And I want to show this first clip from firsthand experience. Can you give me that first clip on the tequila, which is the big lie? And then you guys give me your comments on this one.
if New York elects that Zomran Mamdani guy, good luck. New York will be turned into a mosque.
He seemed like such a walking contradiction to me.
Exactly.
Because he talks the language of the far left when it comes to things like abortion, sex, homosexuality, which are anathema to most Muslims. He's doing that, and then at the same time,
Exactly.
is he a practicing
Yes.
Muslim?
In Islam, they have a teaching called taqiyya. Taqiyya is where you're allowed
Tequila.
to lie for the sake of spreading Islam. When I look at Zomran Mamdani,
We can't hear
going
that.
in the street, acting like an American kind of one day, and then acting like a Muslim one day, eating with his hand one day, and then wearing a suit like his Westernized.
Yummy.
I look at this guy and I'm like, I think he's practicing taqiyya. Muhammad commands you, you can lie for the sake of spreading Islam. Zomran Mamdani, when he says, I love the trans community, I want to fund them, he's either practicing taqiyya because under Islam, transgenders and homosexuals must be executed, or he's not a Muslim. One of them. And I would love for him to be very clear.
Or is he a cafeteria Muslim? They talk about like cafeteria Catholics where they say, I'm a Catholic, and it's like, well, you go to mass, but you don't live the teachings of the faith. But you think that your suspicion, based on your experience living in Egypt and growing up in Egypt, is that it's something more sinister than that.
It's either he's a very lukewarm or not a Muslim at all, or he's practicing taqiyya. If he is practicing taqiyya and New York votes this guy in, good luck. New York will be turned into a mosque. People will be praying in the street, and it's happening right now, by the way. New York is already, the Muslims are praying loud and proud in the streets. If he is practicing taqiyya, you need to vote this guy out.
I think either way we should vote him out.
100%. Vote him out.
I'm not shocked about that. I'm disgusted about it. What a disgrace. How did we let this happen? You know how we let it happen? They lied to us. They cheated. They built this up. But this Islamic nation that's coming into New York is going to destroy New York. I don't believe I'll be able to. I'm going to have to take the Staten Island way around. What are you going to do, Lisa? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, we are Christians. We look at this. You remember this right here, this picture that's up there? This picture, put that back up there, boys. I want to see that, and I want every one of our people to see this picture, which is asset number 2. Put it back up there. I saw it for a second, and I think we should all see it. All right, they'll figure it out. Here we go. I want you to tune in on that for a second. That is 9/11. That is the towers burning, and those are people inside. Because I will never forget 24 years ago. I don't think the American people will ever forget. But for some reason, New York City has forgotten. It was so saddening to listen to Mamdani say how sad he was about his great aunt, who never even was in the country, how afraid and terrified she was to go into the subway. Well, I'll tell you what, you better start being afraid right now, because what we just saw is exactly what's happening. This is a terrorist takeover, and I don't believe God's going to let it happen. Kevin, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, thanks to you. I'll tell you, this whole thing where Kami Mamdani says his aunt was there, and then it turns out it wasn't, and then it was his dad's sister's cousin or whatever. It was nobody. It never happened. This is the biggest mistake he's made yet, because there's too many of us who remember that picture and where we were when those people were jumping. And I've still got a big bug up my bahookie about 9/11. It's never going to go away. And for this guy to come out and play victim, that's sick. Now, if you look at the polling or at the voting, who's voting right now? The boomers and the Gen Xers. That's us. And I'm telling you, we're not voting for that guy, even in New York City. Too many hardworking people who have slaved away to pay off that brownstone or whatever they're doing. It's not cheap to live there. We all know that. They're not going to give up without a fight. I think Mamdani is right now getting his ass kicked, his bahookie kicked, in this race right now. I would love to see Curtis Lee win. I believe he can win. But Cuomo's, he's just another communist. He's just not quite as bad. Obviously, we want Mamdani to lose. I think he's going to lose. I don't know who's going to win yet, but I'm telling you, I think Mamdani's going to lose, boys.
I heard something, too, that he's not a citizen of the United States. He came in as a
He's a citizen for 6 years, John.
Yeah.
So he's been a citizen for 6 years.
Yeah.
But I also heard that on his application to become a citizen that he did some lying on it. That could be something of trouble. But then maybe it's one of those things that you just get your hopes up for. And, oh, my God, they're not going to let him run. They're going to arrest him. Kristi Noem needs to go in there and get this guy out of here, especially if he lied again.
Well, I believe in the power of Jesus Christ. I can't imagine that he's going to let New York City just drop like that. Otherwise, I think, Lisa, you're going to have to get a spare room for me to come down. That's why you ran away from New York, huh, Lisa? What's going on? Did you get your vote in, early vote?
Oh, it's different here, obviously. So I didn't have an opportunity to do my early vote. We have some situations going on here in Florida as well. So I have to take a deep dive into that. But as far as Mamdani is concerned. I think that what that gentleman was saying in the video regarding Tariq, I apologize, is very concerning. This belief that the Muslims could lie to obtain certain, protection of their faith is where it comes from. We have two different Muslims. There's the Sunni and the Shia, and so that comes from the Shia faith of section of Muslim, and it is concerning, not so much because of the faith itself, but because of the things that Mamdani has said. He was someone who was a proponent of the Antifada, and so that is extremely important. He also is anti-police. And the thing he's selling New Yorkers is that he's going to give them free rent and free groceries. This is socialism, and that never works. Communism has not worked in any country ever. Let's look at the Cubans. Let's look at the Venezuelans. And that is why many of them are here in Florida. So if we just take that alone, we would hope that the people of New York know better and could see through his facade. As far as the other concerns with people in the race, I think that Cuomo is a weak opponent. The fact that we have him
Cuomo's
up there is
go.
ridiculous.
Lisa, we're coming into a break over here. We're coming into a break. You're not going to go anywhere. Please stick around. We got some great stuff ahead of us and some more news, top stories. And we're going to do what we can to get Curtis Sliwa elected.
Robert Cornicelli doesn't write for attention. In What is White, Cornicelli exposes an uncomfortable truth. Whiteness isn't an identity, it's a weapon, one used to divide us. While the system thrives on guilt and control, it's for everyday Americans ready to push past guilt, question the lies, and reclaim who they are. Proceeds support the Veteran Recovery Coalition, helping veterans rebuild their lives. What is White? Available now.
Who broke the television? Can we laugh at that? Sounds a little mean.
As of this month, public gay sex will now be mandatory. Parties.
Am I the only one that sees his lips move?
Cheekbones, baby.
I'm sorry, maybe I overreacted.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Hey, fellow patriots, it's Cindy Gross here, host of Right for America, from your favorite place, the America First Warehouse. You've seen me show on my show so many products from this country's #1 most patriotic manufacturer with close to 400 products. You need to exchange the products you use in your house to this company and make your dollars count in our country.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. The America First Warehouse is divine inspiration by God. That's the only thing I could say. Because I'm Joe the Box. I'm a moving man. I pick things up. I put them down. My boy over here.
moving man my whole life. Now we're into a new realm here with the America First Warehouse. I know we got a lot of things that Joe's going to talk about, but I was thinking about the only burqa that should be allowed in New York.
Johnny Burqa. That's what we're changing your name. Johnny's going to go from Johnny Blanket to Johnny Burqa.
Well, Johnny Burqa, that sounds a little Jewish. I don't know anybody killing me while I'm in there, so we'll have to change
That's
that.
a pretty good burger. Kev, what do you think?
So too.
I like it. I say keep it.
I'm going to sell them with the America First Warehouse here, Burkas.
Hey, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, listen, we like to have fun because you know what? The country is a fun place. My whole life I had so much fun, but we ask God every day to keep this thing rolling for us. How do we keep it going, And I don't ask anything for anybody. I don't expect anybody to come in and drop $130 million on me to make payroll, but it's incredible how God moves and make things happen. So what I found is an opportunity to partner. And that's what it is right now. We're partnering with a company called Sound Money, and you can find everything on the website. There's 4 new partnerships that we're establishing here out of the warehouse that's going to help us continue to fund and push the America First movement. And the Sound Money wallet. We have the Freedom Cart, which buys only American products made in America. I mean, that's what I've done. I switched everything at home to that. I want to, I don't care what it is. If it's made in America, that's what I want. And honestly, the quality is there. America makes quality products, but what happens is it gets diluted with the press and with the media and with the garbage that they continually sell us. But everything I buy is America First. It's the way I live. How do you like that, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm a big America First guy. All our stuff that we should be purchasing is here in America, and I just can't say how happy and proud I am to have a president like Donald Trump that works as hard as he does. He's a nonstop machine. Everything is for the betterment of the America First. And the America First Warehouse, we got a lot of good stuff here to help our patriots out, not only with entertainment and seeing these wonderful shows, but also in investing so that the money could be shared, not for the sake of the America First Warehouse, but all our patriots that are involved in it.
Johnny, that's a beautiful segue because you're absolutely right because kaboom! Way to go, Johnny. You're perfect on that one. Your mother's going to love that one.
All my money's in gold.
I know your mom's watching over there. Well, the thing is that John and I both were looking at, how we lived our life. We didn't really pay attention to what's going on, but I'll tell you attention to this, that the price of gold or the value of gold has gone, 40, 50% up since only a couple of years ago. And I'm not sure why, but I am sure about this. Go to the America First website, the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com. Go to the website and click on the Sound Money wallet, and you will figure out a way, or you'll see a way on how to earn or create gold wealth for as little as $1 a day.
Well, that's the thing that's really amazing about it, because you see gold on every show. Every news station is the gold, gold, gold. It's the best thing to invest in, silver and gold. And now there's an opportunity through the America First Warehouse with this TAFW.
At Sound Money.
At Sound Money. For us patriots here that come to the warehouse, or even people that aren't even coming to the warehouse to invest into gold and at prices that we can afford as normal people, that one day we'd be able to buy that big brick for thousands of dollars.
Well,
you got to start
$4,000 for a
somewhere.
brick.
This is where it starts.
And you know what's happening too is that most of these media outlets that are being created out there, they're looking for Big Daddy to come in and help them and buy an advertising spot or whatever it's going to be. We don't expect that. We don't really expect that. But what we do look to do is utilize the America First people, right? Because here at the America First Warehouse, we create a product that you're going to love. It's called MAGA. That's right. We make a lot of MAGA out of here. And one of the best MAGA makers that I'm familiar with, you saw the commercial on Friday nights. He comes in here every Friday night. He fills the place up. He cracks us up all the time. Mr. MAGA himself, KDJ, you are MAGA, are you not? You weren't always MAGA.
No, I used to be a New York City lib. And then I started to think. I said, man, this brain is mine. I'm going to use it for myself. I'm not going to believe what they're telling me. And, you know what? I was a brief Republican, but that wasn't what I was looking for. They just weren't communists. I said, well, I guess I'm a Republican now. Then Trump comes along, and I said, yep, this is what Daddy's looking for.
That's what
right
it was.
here.
It was Trump that had you change your mind on your political beliefs? Or?
No, it was 9/11. Actually, had a lot to do with how I shifted to the GOP.
America.
But here's the thing: a couple days after, I'm living in Brooklyn, and I'm in my bedroom, and the whole city, I've never seen such infinite sadness. And the wind shifts, and we can smell what we know are bodies burning, fellow New Yorkers. And there's George Bush on TV, surrounded with Muslims, some of whom would eventually go to jail for being terrorists. As he tells us, religion is Islam is a religion of peace. I say pieces because they knock buildings into pieces, and they blow themselves into pieces. So he says it's a religion of peace, and I said, I'm not on this guy's side either. I don't like what he's doing right now, because he was covering for them. He's a globalist. He's a slime ball, and he was doing what he had to do. Trump came along and said, nope, this is about America. This is not about the globalists. We're not kissing Saudi Arabian Bahuki. We're not doing that. We're not pretending that Islam isn't trying to take over the world, because they are. They are clearly trying to take over the world, and they're getting away with it. Everyone's going, oh, look at all these people coming over the southern border. But what you're not looking at are the jihadi daddies who are popping up all over the nation, Texas, all over southern Michigan, everywhere. But Trump knows. Now we're on to it. Now he sees the plan. If we see it, he sees it. And I'm telling you right now, folks, these are biblical times. It's exciting to watch and to be a part of, and we're going to win.
Win. That's what
Winning.
I like. Now, my friend Lisa, down in the Gulf of America, but I know you said you're on the East Coast, but it's still, you're in the land of the free. There's no doubt about it. I mean, MAGA wasn't always something that was, in your blood or in your, because we didn't really know about it. When was the moment in your life that you feel that MAGA became the priority, America First, for you?
Well, as you know, I think it had to do mostly with the education system. And in New York, we have the largest student population in the country. And what I began to see deteriorating in our public schools was extremely concerning. And so that is when I began to see who else can offer us a better path. And it certainly was not coming from the Democrat Party. Matter of fact, it was Obama's Common Core that did a tremendous amount of damage to the country. And then in Democrat states like New York, we see that as soon as they gain full control, as they did in 2019, they immediately begin to enact laws that violate parental rights. And so now when you just examine actions, if we take actions for what they are, because they certainly speak louder than words, you have to step back and say, no, this is not okay. Who is offering us better options? And we see that Trump is dismantling the U.S. Department of Education. And his reasoning is that it basically violates the Constitution of America, because the control for the schools is supposed to remain with the states. And at that point, you can have a greater nucleus of voters in the state dealing with education on a local level that can make the change. If we're trying to effect change on a federal level for state schools, it's almost impossible. And that's where my MAGA moment came.
So deep.
Lisa, it steams my clams?
Everything.
But in the education system now, what's happening, I'm sure you've heard around the country, there are parents trying to opt out of what they call the LGBT FBI studies. I threw the FBI in there because I don't like them. But, I like them now. I didn't like them before when they were knocking on my door. But let me tell you, they're going after the left. They're going after education, and they have been for years, because once you get those kids young, and you can shape their minds, and you can make them little communists forever. Now, this Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey running for governor, she wants control over homeschooling. She wants a law that says you have to teach these LGBT classes, and will test your kids. If they flunk, you will be fined. I think this is insane, because homeschooling is all about, we don't want some of that trash going into our kids' heads. Do you see what I see in regards to the left trying to just take over and monopolize education nationwide?
Kevin, absolutely. You used a perfect example again of a state other than New York, where Democrats have a majority of control, and they are inflicting parental rights and control over children. And that is extremely scary. You're right in that she's trying to do that. And when you go into the homeschooling aspect of it, it's no, right? You're not supposed to be touching where the parents say, okay, I can't possibly afford private school. I cannot tolerate what's taking place in the public school. And so I'm going to take, the matter into my own hands and train my child, raise my child up as I see fit. And when the government tries to intervene in that, there should be red flags everywhere. And what she is doing in saying that she's going to come in and take control of a homeschool, that is another major race that all New Jersey folks should be watching. And we should be pushing that she not get elected. That is just one sign of what other possible things to come. When they come into your home directly and try to influence your children and your lifestyle, your values, that is a very, very frightening form of government.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm telling you, I enjoy so much being here at the warehouse with these great patriot MAGAs that come in here and talk about it. Lisa, your experience on the school side of things, your knowledge about news events, and just the common sense that come from you is incredible. So thank you for all of that. Kevin Downing, KDJ, bro, you are something else myself. The way you put the words together and make us laugh so hard, right, Johnny? It's an incredible time to have our great friends with us.
Yeah, we need family core values. It's the parents' fault. Listen to your kids and find out what they're learning in school. Maybe we could stop it from there. But homeschooling is only a good thing, and teach the kids what we want to teach them.
We had a little bit of homeschooling, Johnny and I. We went to the public school.
Quick right hand.
Yeah, well, quick right hand and a foot to your ass from my father was always a good one. But we learned catechism through homeschooling, and that's how we learned our love for Jesus Christ, our Lord, who motivates us every day with everything that we do.
Corrupt judges, broken families, families torn apart. This isn't justice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
Hi, my name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com. The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
It's Tuesday here at the America First Warehouse. I am Joe the Box.
And I'm John the Blanket. Freddie Rubino here with my podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Coming to you live from the most patriotic venue in the land.
Welcome to Right for America.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve?
Fighting!
Welcome to Tune In Tuesday of the Patriots Podcast, live streaming every Tuesday night at 7:30.
Another edition of On the Right Side here, and you can catch us weekly, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
And welcome to Liberty's Cage, where we rip the veil off America's broken justice system. Prisons that crush spirits and a society that shuns people who have paid their price.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
Welcome to Suffocating in Suburbia with me, your host, Stevie GB.
We are back at the America First Warehouse. I know my friend Lisa is down in East Coast of Florida somewhere. We are just so excited about everything that's going down. This segment, we want to kind of focus a little bit in on Curtis Sliwa, which we feel is the candidate for our choice here at the America First Warehouse. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. He might be a little crazy and stuff, and what he says and how he comes about things. But I know him 20, 30 years ago as in the 80s growing up. And I just remembered that there was this guy called Curtis Sliwa, and he had a group of people that didn't like New Yorkers getting beat up. He didn't like New York being carjacked, and he didn't like all the crime that was going on. And he started this organization called the Guardian Angels. And, I had lived on the island my whole life, so I was, really safe from the problems of the cities. But you heard about it. There was one of the kids in high school went into the city, and he was trying to buy some weed or whatever he was trying to get. He got shot, and, you remember these things, and you go, wow, I don't want to go into this city because it's a dangerous place. Well, I'll tell you what, it's really dangerous now. John and I went into Brooklyn on last Wednesday night. Or Tuesday, I'm not sure what day it was, but we went in there to meet at the Donald J. Trump Republican Club. Can you believe it? Who was the brilliant man that figured that out? His name is Jimmy Wagner, and he runs the Donald J. Trump Club in Brooklyn, and he had the local Brooklyn candidates there. At the same time, Curtis Sliwa came in. I was able to get a picture with him. I know I didn't send that to you. But I do have a clip that we're going to end with, not end, but if you can put up there, Curtis Sliwa, it's really the ending of his speech, what I thought was amazing. If we can get that up.
At the Museum of Natural History, that's my polling location in Manhattan. I'm voting as soon as the doors open up. And let's hope that Mr. Dale
at the club. Yeah, boy. Oh, my goodness. What? I took that shot. I couldn't believe it. Pow!
We didn't have our sign with us over there, so we carried this when we visited Curtis.
Yeah, we had this. We wanted Rudy Giuliani mayor. We feel that he was the greatest mayor of New York. I can't anybody feel like it be any different. But this is what really convinced me. The last 2 seconds, there are 2 minutes of Curtis Sliwa's speech at the Donald J. Trump Republican Club that he's going to bring back Rudy Giuliani 2.0. Kaboom!
Wow. Pow! One of the things I had gotten out of there, because I was never a big Sliwa fan, because anybody that doesn't say nice things about my president gets me irked. I can't take it. That steams my clams, and I love steamed clams, but it steams my clams. But what he had mentioned, I think the best thing for the city is safety. So the police is important, and the safety that's out there. And one of the issues that he said he was going to look at or address is the police officers that put themselves out there, risk their lives every day to protect us, could be in a situation where they got involved and maybe overreacted, and they could be sued for what happens or what they did as a police officer looking to protect us. Look, I'm sure there's a lot of bad cops, but most of them are good, and most of them have this worry to be over their shoulder before they get involved with something, because they could be sued or something. And he wants to clean that up.
Sliwa's going to come in. He already said the first thing he's going to do. He's going to go down. He's going to shake every policeman's hand and thank them personally for what they do for the country. And he said even the night shifts. And you want to know something? I believe him. Kevin?
Can I just tell you, this is a personal story. I moved to New York City, 1986, and I lived in Hell's Kitchen, 47th between 9th and 10th. You boys remember what Hell's Kitchen was like in the late mid-80s? It was hell. And I was working at the Palladium. Wow. Yeah, I was a busboy, $5 an hour, I hate to brag. And we'd come home, the place closes at 4, maybe you have a drink, you come home 6, and we would be terrified. But when we saw those burgundy berets, we knew we were safe. And those guys, They'd say, where are you going? We'd say, we're getting off at Times Square 47. They said, we'll hang in the car with you until you get there. Who does that? Nobody. This is back when 2,200 people a year were getting murdered. So I've been a big fan of Curtis Sliwa and his guardian angels, and I think this man's a saint, and I think he can win. The problem is a bunch of idiots in the news going, well, he can't win because he wears a hat. Let's focus on these other two numbskulls. No, you've got Commie Light and Commie Regular coming up. Commie Heavy, call him what you want. Curtis can win this, folks. I'm telling you. And we're talking about this. All the voting right now shows it's boomers and Gen X. That's us. And we don't vote for communists. And remember, Giuliani lost the first time to that bozo Dinkins.
Yeah.
Second time he won. Why? Because the voters really came out. Why did Comrade de Blasio win? No one came out to vote. He got in easily. Not this time. New Yorkers have had it. And New Yorkers are liberal, sure, but not like San Francisco. Here, the New Yorkers are liberal, but New York is, it's got some grit to it. We're not going to sit down and take this. I'm telling you, I don't think Mamdani's winning this. Curtis Sliwa has a real shot, and people should go out and vote for him because you don't want either of those idiots. Trust me. We saw, how many elderly people did Cuomo kill? 15,000?
17,000.
17. How many you got to kill before you say, nah, you don't get the job? All right? We saw the Kami Mamdani sucking up to one of those terrorists from the 1993 attacks on the World Trade Center. Why would you do that? How is this possible? Anyone would vote for him. I'm telling you, every indication is Mamdani does not win.
I love it. I love it. Now, Lisa, down there, you are, you're not as old as we are down there. You're very young, and you probably don't remember the early days of the Guardian Angels. What is your first recollection of Curtis Sliwa, and what are your thoughts of him as the new mayor of New York?
Well, I have to say this. Thank you, Joe. That was very kind of you. However, I do remember Mr. Sliwa quite well. He was born and raised in Canarsie, so he's a fellow Brooklynite. And I lived in Brooklyn, obviously, my whole life, and would travel on the F train to the city. And yes, right there at KTJ, I recall those wonderful red berets and how safe we felt on the train when there were issues. And there were certainly a lot of issues, definitely in the 80s, no doubt. I think that Sliwa may come off to some people as though he's abrupt or not as professionally carved out as we see Mamdani, who I almost want to say is like a version of Obama. He's very eloquent in the way he is a speaker and an orator, but truth be told, it is a mask. And so, Curtis Sliwa, you really see what you're getting. This is a man who has dedicated his life to protecting others. That should be first and foremost when people go to the polls. He protects others. On top of that, Sliwa is so proud of New York City and the 5 boroughs. He knows where everything is. You name a park, you tell him about a certain hangout, he will know it. You want this type of person. Let's talk about his platform for a quick second. This is a man who's saying, let's not just say we're going to freeze rents and hurt tons of landlords and make the landlords angry and not want to manage the buildings and the tenants and the landlords have problems with each other. He said, let's come in, let's look at all the abandoned buildings we have in the city, let's fix them up, and let's give people a place to live properly. And let's also talk about tax reforms for the landlords and the people of New York so that they can better pay for things and some incentives instead of always punishment, punishment, punishment. This is the type of thinking you need, especially in a place like New York where it's very diverse and where the people do love where they come from, but we have different economic classes. And let's admit it, that's okay if we can teach them how to get along. Sliwa's the man to do that. He loves to please, he wants to bring proper housing, and hey, he loves cats.
Trump said he's going to make
strike against me on that. The cat
thing.
Well, yeah, he didn't like Trump, so that's why I had a little bit issue. He's not really a businessman, but he is the best candidate out there to save the city. And I think that the outer boroughs is where Sliwa's going to pick up votes, and that's probably where it's all coming from when Kevin says that there's a big showing of early voting. Yeah. Is there any of this bullshit with the mail-in voting for this thing, too?
Well, there's illegals voting and everything. New York State is pretty much open.
Yeah, that's the one thing that worries me. It's so easy to cheat. Illegal immigrants are voting. That's just the way it is. They said it wasn't going to happen. They lied. Takia. It's Takia.
Takia.
I like the idea of ICE agents at every polling booth so they can check you out too. Oh my God, people are afraid to vote. Yeah, the people that aren't allowed to.
People that aren't allowed to, yeah. Hashtag me too, baby. Yeah, make them afraid.
Whatever happens to New York City, when I think New York City, I think Manhattan. You forget about those other boroughs, but either they're going to learn it the hard way, otherwise we're going to be in a safer and wonderful city to go see plays and all the stuff that goes on in the city. I mean, going into the city is exciting, but who wants to go someplace where you're afraid to go?
Lisa, we got about a minute and a half left, and if I remember, I don't like the idea like Lisa Page and that other moron.
Yeah, don't
over
call
there.
her Lisa.
Not Lisa. I'm sorry. You're Lisa. She's not good, that one over there. But the reason why I bring them up because they were planning. They had a backup plan. Now, does Donald Trump have a back plan? You got a minute left. I think I heard a little bit of it. What do you think?
A backup plan? I mean, listen, we're talking about people who committed crimes. The fact that they come before Congress and there's this issue of just them, lying to Congress alone, it's not enough. Yes, he needs a backup plan. We need to get that more visualized because a lot of the times people like us are waiting to really hear what he can say and do, but he's careful in how he presents things and make sure that he doesn't give away too much, and that's what matters.
It seems like what I feel the backup plan would be is that Donald Trump had said that he's going to cut their funding off. Kevin?
I would love that. We know that Kami Mamdani's taken some foreign money that he's not allowed to take, and apparently he's given some back. I also wonder if Trump doesn't have a little grenade in his back pocket, like maybe they got the goods on Mamdani about something else, that they say, well, we're not going to do that until we'll see if he wins. Then they go, oh, look, we saw you cheating.
Jail.
The mayor from jail. I'll tell you one thing that I know, and I think we all agree at that. Trump's right. He was right about everything.
Right about everything.
The America First Ultra MAGA store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA store.
Gold and silver, it's God's money, and we all need it. Unfortunately, the whole precious metals industry is rigged in favor of the wealthy people. In fact, it's so complicated that 95% of all Americans don't own any precious metals. What the industry needed was a way for us to buy fractional units of precious metals, get free storage in a secure vault, have them insured, take physical possession of the metals, or instantaneously liquidate the assets at one of the highest buyback prices in the industry. Well, now there is. It's called a sound money account, and everybody needs one. With a membership, you can start buying gold and silver with as little as $1. Now that fits everyone's budget. Also, our members can gift gold and silver between each other in our Sound Money accounts. What a great way to pass on generational wealth. You'll be able to rest easier knowing you have the security and flexibility found in having your very own Sound Money account. Please scan the QR code or go to tafwsoundmoney.com to learn more. The America First Warehouse wants every American to have access to owning their very own precious metals.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Hey, we're back over here, and I always tell my wife I'm going to work, and is this really work? I don't think so. I did have a couple of minutes with my mom this morning. God bless you, Mom. I love that you're in my life the way you are. You're a great mom. You did a great job with me and Johnny.
I say the same thing too, Mom. Whatever he said, I say the same thing.
He said the same thing. Kaboom! Hey, listen, I got a quick video set up to explain to you and explain to the American people, because we're about the truth and everything that we do. And I found the truth. Jason Meister is a Meister. Meisterberger. I think he's Meister. He's a great friend of the warehouse. He's been in a few times. We had a lot of fun with him last time he came in. But he put this clip out, and it was sent to me, so I can see it, by my friend GF. That's right, General Flynn. But as I got it from General Flynn, I had told Jason I was going to be putting it on the show today, and he had let us know that Donald Trump had also tweeted it on his Truth Social today. Let's run it. Jason Meisner.
To shake every single American in their shoes. I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016. Absolutely must hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history. James Comey, John Brennan, Clapper, Rice, Biden was in the meeting in July 28th in the Oval Office. They briefed Barack Obama on Hillary Clinton's plan to, quote, tie Trump to Russia collusion lies. It consumed our national discourse for 5 years. It undermined a sitting duly elected president. It sabotaged administration. It framed a 3-star general. It destroyed and ripped this country apart. We had a constitutional crisis, the likes of which I don't think any American can fully comprehend. It is atrocious, and every single one of them must be held accountable.
Wow. Jason Meisner, you are a hero, man. Ba-boom! Pow! Kaboom!
The truth
man.
hurts.
Oh, my goodness gracious, you know. And for some reason, this information is not getting out as quickly, as fast as it should. And I guess maybe they're walking carefully on how to deal with this. But Kevin Downey Jr., are you surprised at all that Barack Hussein Obama is responsible for the chaos in this country?
God, no. I've been saying it for years, folks. Every road leads back to the Bamster. Now, let me tell you, I'm from Detroit. We had the first black mayor of a major American city. He was crooked, and he is on tape saying they're never coming after me because they don't want to mess with the first black mayor. And I know this. A friend of mine from law enforcement met 2 FBI guys and said we had the goods on him, and we were going to bring down Coleman A. Young, the first black mayor of a major New York City. And then President Jimmy Carter said, don't do it because there will be riots, and we can't do that. So now we've got the first black man in the White House. He knew they would never come after him because they'd be called a racist. That's why they've been telling you for years everything is racist. If you go against anything that they say, you are a racist. Now, all of this leads to Barack Obama. It always has, always will. And they're banking on the fact that no one will go after him because no one wants to be called a racist. As you see in England, you can't say, hey, what's with all these Muslims raping people? Because they'll call you a racist, and then you'll get fired and you'll go to jail if you put anything on YouTube or anything like that. Got to be careful in England. No such thing as free speech there. So I am not surprised, Joe, that everything leads back to Barack Obama. It makes so much sense to me, and I love I love how they're approaching this. They're indicting this one and then that one. And I don't know if you saw this, but when they got Bolton, the DOJ said, we've got an airtight case.
Yes.
That tells Bolton he's screwed. That tells Bolton he might want to make a deal. Now, Comey, he's former FBI. He knows that plan. You let that slip, and that scares people. So he's not as afraid. But Bolton, and watch for a guy named Bruce Orr from GPS Fusion. He's a rat. He's going to flip first. It's going to be him or Bolton, or maybe the guy from the Intel. What was it, Brennan? No, not Brennan. Who's the
Clapper?
Clapper. Thank you, Clapper.
He's the weak one.
He's the weak one.
Yeah, he is the weak link over there. Now, Johnny, I know you've been thinking about this a lot. Who's in the top 10 hit parade for you in this whole cabal?
Well, it changed because it was all the names that you had mentioned. You know, we talk about it all the time. I'm tired of nothing.
You're bowing before you even bowed.
All of them bow.
Oh, it's a premature
all
pow.
of them bow.
I hate the premature
they gotta
pow.
go. I'm tired of, the guy was a thief and he did this wrong and he was treasonous and against our let's go on to the next thing. Don't look over here. They do it all the time and nothing about it. But I had seen letters written, because I follow Trump. So when Trump writes to Pam Bondi that we're getting tired, we want to see some action from you, get going on things. So he mentioned all of these people in a text to Pam Bondi. Let's get moving. The American people are ready.
Pow. I guess it might be like the letter that Biden sent to his DOJ. Hey, go after those Christian mom and dads and close down these schools and all of that stuff, right? That's what they're saying. But honestly, we don't need Trump to bring the truth to these people, even though Trump is helping with his transparency. I want to go to Lisa down in the Free Estate and all the land. Lisa, if you got your list, I know that you probably, with your education, would like to see Randi Weingarten go. Is she at the top of your list?
She's definitely one of those, people that we have known, again, through her actions, to do very harmful things. She's using the teachers' union against the parents, against even the students themselves, and whether teachers fully understand this or not, and I think many more are coming into the understanding, she has used the membership almost against themselves. So we have some great, a SCOTUS lawsuit, Janice, which helps us to combat this. So I put her on a kind of a scale of people we'd want to really go after. I'll definitely put her in that top 10. However, my main concern is Brennan. As you said earlier, he was in charge of our intelligence agencies, and there is serious concern about the things he's done against the American people, which empowered Obama to be able to do a lot of the underhanded things that are now coming to light. For example, in 2014, there was an improper access of congressional staff computers. Okay, then we had an issue where there was questionable claims regarding his interrogation during program effectiveness as head of the agency, and things that he claimed were done to save lives were really just to further interrogate and harm and interfere in American privacy, and how he politicized in the intelligence agency in 2017 with the Russia interference assessment. Those are just three that we can look at. Somebody like Randi Weingarten, as we see, she uses these people use her and the teachers union, labor union, to get their work done. So she's an arm of the, tentacle of the octopus, let's say, but at the head of it, I would say Brennan is closer to those top three.
Is that two for Brennan? Johnny, you're a Brennan guy too? Are you Brennan?
Yeah, Brennan got
KDJ, who's your top boy?
That I want to see go down?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know what? For me, it's got to be Comey. It's got to be Comey, and I'll tell you why. Nothing worse than the day Joe Biden said Antifa isn't real, and then Christopher Wray running the.
Wait a minute. You want Comey or Wray? Which one?
Christopher Wray.
Christopher Wray is above Comey right now.
Because they both said Antifa isn't real, and Antifa is here to take the country down. And our president at the time and our number one law enforcement guy, Christopher Wray, said, Antifa's not real. What are you guys worried about? As they're actively, violently trying to overthrow the government. They are animals. They need to go to cells. They need to go to prison.
I happen to be my personal vote for the greatest treasonous traitor of all time, behind Benedict Arnold, is Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah. Sorry, bro. He gets the gold medal. Johnny?
I like all that list. But when you really think about it, somebody that really irks me and steams my clamps is that Adam shit. I can't stand that guy.
Wow. More steamed clamming. It's got to be somebody else. Who else steams your clams, Kev? Come on, let's pile on.
You know what? I got to jump on Train John here. I think Adam Schiff is one of the lowest. He's ambergris. He's whale vomit. That's ambergris. He is whale vomit, and he needs to go to a cell forever.
Adam Kissinger? What about him?
Hold on. We got our friend in Florida. We can't forget the women's side of things, because I'm sure that, Lisa, you would agree with Nancy Pelosi.
Ooh. Oh, my goodness. First of all, the whole story behind Nancy Pelosi is ridiculous. Her father came in from Italy, and about 13. He never really finished any education. He was taken under the wing of a local politician, and somehow, some way, he rises to the mayor. And then after that, Pelosi, who's the youngest of 6 and the only girl, has bragged about having her father's black book. So this is a woman who I think is always engaged in underhanded behavior since her early days, and she is definitely someone that needs to be caught.
I have a great feeling that we're going to need a lot of orange jumpsuits.
A lot of pows.
Yeah, but listen, we cannot ever forget the new East Ballroom is going to be named the Monica Lewinsky Ballroom and Cigar Lounge. Kaboom!
That's not true. That's not going to be Monica Lewinsky. But I know it's a joke that Trump always introduced her, and this is the room.
Listen, we got a minute left. We keep slamming it. How about the last one with a minute left? Anybody could jump on it. How about Trump flying the King plane in and dropping a bunch of
duties? I loved it.
That what that was?
I love that. That was, and they went nuts. You know why? Because the Marxists hate to be mocked, and Trump is the funniest president we've ever had, at least in my life. I don't know. Maybe Taft was hilarious. I wouldn't know. But that thing you're talking about, brilliant. He just trolls him, and all they do is get angrier and angrier.
Yeah, he takes the cake on every category. I don't think he missed anything.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think we really missed anything. I want to, you forgot his kaboom.
But before we end, Joe, let's give a shout out to our veteran and former military, Mike Simonelli, co-host at times on the podcast. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Mike.
Hey, way to go, Mike Simonelli. You got a word in there, Lisa. She appreciates you, as we all do. Listen, don't forget, go out and vote for Curtis Sliwa. We got to get him in. No more commies.
Great show. Thank you. Love you.